Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place, 'cause the love you give, it can't be replaced.
Hi my lovelies, so today I decided to film an everyday makeup tutorial. I realized when I was doing my chit chat get ready with me, I was doing my makeup but not explaining anything, and I really wanted to do a makeup tutorial where I explain the process of how I do my makeup. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So the first thing I'm going to start with is my eyebrows. Actually, cut that. The first thing that I started with was doing my skincare. That's so important when you're doing your makeup, is to do your skincare. So make sure before you put anything on, do your skincare, girl. Skin is in 2023, so make sure you do your skin. One of the main things that a lot of people struggle with when it comes to their makeup is their makeup coming off of their face. If you struggle with that, you're probably not doing your skincare routine before. Please do your skincare routine before. It's very important. It's more important than doing your skincare routine is making sure your skincare soaks into your skin. So you have to give it some time. So while we're waiting for our skincare to set and soak into my skin, I'm going to do my eyebrows. What I use for my eyebrows is the NYX Professional Makeup Fill and Fluff Eyebrow Pencil. This is in chocolate. It's one of my newer additions to my makeup routine. I'm still trying it out, but right now I have no complaints for it. The thing that I do really like about this pen or this pencil is the brush at the end. It actually blends the product in very well. When you're doing your eyebrows, you kind of just go with your hairs. I'm not like the best at doing my eyebrows either. If you feel like your eyebrows aren't looking that good, just less is more. I think we all went through that stage where we had block eyebrows. Girl, not no more. I look crazy with one done. Do you see the difference? This one is definitely a lot darker than this one. When it comes to my eyebrows, I'm not a strict, you know, they need to be sisters or whatever. My eyebrows are not sisters. They're not even cousins, girl. They ain't even distant cousins. Has anyone ever had a bad experience with getting their eyebrows done? I got my eyebrows threaded almost 10 years ago, I think. This eyebrow still has not fully grown back on the other side. And I've just been suffering for the last decade because this person messed up my eyebrows. And there's absolutely nothing I could do to fix it. So I just accept that my eyebrows look weird and different. It is what it is. To clean up my eyebrows a little bit, I don't actually use a concealer. I use the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me Foundation. What color is it? 320. It's in Natural Tan. Yeah, it's a natural tan. It's hard for me to read without my glasses, but okay. I just try to straighten my eyebrow as much as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm a firm believer that your makeup does not have to be perfect. Because I'm going to be honest with you, most of the girls you see on YouTube, or not even YouTube, but you see on TikTok or anything like that, a lot of the times they actually have a filter on top of their makeup, which is why you can't see their pores and stuff. If your makeup is not perfect, it's not perfect. You could always learn a different way to do your makeup and get better at it. I give myself a nice little concealed unibrow. I do this just to make sure they're as even as possible in the front, at least, because when the front square doesn't match, it's very noticeable. So there's another thing that I actually use for my eyebrows. I use this e.l.f. Wow Brow. It's just this like little thing. I use this and I get as much product as I can off of it because, girl, she is pigmented and strong. And I just use that to go over my hairs. So any parts that I missed with the pencil, I fill in with this. This is technically a tinted brow gel, but this is not even what I use to slick my eyebrows back. So what I use is the NYX, the brow glue. They have a tinted version of this and I just found that out. So I'm probably going to get the tinted version and we could completely cut this out. But for now, I don't have the tinted version. So I'm going to show you what I usually do. This stuff is probably some of the best brow gel you'll ever use. I will admit, for a drugstore brand, It is a little expensive. I think this was $10 just for this little tube of it. I honestly think that's a little expensive for drugstore makeup. Just blend out my little concealer unibrow that I gave myself. This is the brush that I'm going to use. And what I'm going to do is get my Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. This is what I've been using as a mirror. And I'm going to take the color Nudie and mix it with Cashmere Bunny. And just go into the crease of my eyelid. And the reason why I do this is it contours my eyelid. And that's what I use it for. It's like a sloppy contour. It's not perfect, but it prevents my eyes from just looking boring. I kind of feel like adding a little bit more, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. This is what I've done so far, just a little bit of eyebrows with some contouring of the eyes, nothing more than that. Now I'm gonna move on to mascara. We'll be honest with you, when it comes to mascara, I don't discriminate. I don't care what type of mascara it is, what it does, as long as it's not extremely clumpy and as long as it's not extremely wet. I noticed some mascaras, they could be really wet and they don't dry well and they just get everywhere. As long as my mascara doesn't do that, then I don't care. So for the mascara that I'm using right now, it's the L'Oreal Paris Telescopic mascara. Let's see. I've been using this one for a while. I like it. It doesn't clump up my eyelashes at all. And I like the brush. I think the fact that the brush is so thin, it just prevents too much product from going on at once. So I think that's why it works so well. I don't really use mascara for length. I just use it to add a little bit more life to my eye. This is the difference. I don't do too much with it. Ooh. Girl. It's giving skin. I only do my top lashes and then I do my bottom lashes when I do my foundation. Do I forget to do my bottom lashes a lot of the time? Yes. But are you gonna mind your business? Absolutely. You could also put on falsies. Most of the time, I just do this little bit of mascara. Obviously, because it's the easiest. I'm so bad at putting lashes on. I dislike all of you that could put eyelashes on well. I hope you don't get good sleep tonight at this point, because why is it so easy for you? I could just never get it. Ugh, I hate you all. Every last one of you who could just casually put on lashes. Every time I put on lashes, I have to put eyeliner on because I do my lashes so bad, and the band will show if I don't put eyeliner on. Purr. Let me say this to the lens. Let me look at the lens. A good base creates a cute face, okay? A good base creates a good face. Make sure you do a good base because your face will look amazing. I use two bases on my face. I start with the Fit Me one. This is matte and poreless, just like the foundation that I use. I'm not like a beauty guru. Leave me alone. I really do like this because it works really well with my pores. And especially if you're dehydrated. If you're dehydrated, you have those little, like little bumps all over your skin. I've been dehydrated lately. So I use this because it helps with the texture of my skin. It doesn't get rid of my bumps. It just fills in the places that are not even with the bumps. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like this primer works a miracle. Okay, this is the real girl. Girl. I don't care if you don't listen to the rest of my tutorial. If you get anything from this video, it should be to get this primer. Girl. This one has 4% I don't even know, has niacinamide. I don't know how to say it. I'm saying it quick because I don't want y'all to make fun of me. Girl. Get this. Get this. Just get it. There's no reason why you should be questioning it. Just get this primer. It's amazing. Honestly, my makeup has never lasted this long ever. Ever. When you first put it on, I'm not gonna lie, it is gonna feel like you're wiping glue on your face. That's how you know. The tackier it is, the better. Let me see if I could show you. My hand is sticking to my face. That's how your primer should work, okay? So that's it with the primer. The next thing I'm going to use is, oh, actually, no, this is a primer. This color correcting liquid from NYX. Oh, it's in peach. Girl, I like this too, but I think there are probably going to be better ones out there. I just put this one straight on my face. I have a mustache, so I need to cover it. And any redness I have on my skin, I have so many acne scars on my skin. That bird is just going ham right now. Do y'all hear that freaking bird? I give myself a beard with it. That's the key. Believe it or not, the thing that I realized works the best with blending this primer, let me take it out the drawer, is a dry beauty blender. This has no liquid, no nothing in it. I use brushes, I've used wet beauty blenders. Don't use a wet beauty blender when you're blending in any type of orange at this point, because I realized that it just eats it up. It's actually not a beauty blender. This is a Real Technique sponge. I like them way more than beauty blenders, to be honest. I've tried them all. Real Techniques is just better. Better than the beauty blender, and you could also get a pack of them for like 20 bucks, which is how much just a beauty blender costs. So when it comes to the foundation that I use, I've recently been using the one foundation that has been all over TikTok. I know. I've been using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. The reason why I like this a lot is because it's a great builder foundation. And when I say it's a great builder foundation, I mean that you can make it as little coverage as you want. You can make it as full coverage as you want. The way that I make it a fuller coverage is I mix it with the matte or the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. Instead of the 320, I use 322, and I'll mix it with that if I want a fuller look. Also, if you don't like the really excessively glowy look, I would suggest mixing it with a matte foundation. But at the end of the day, this is a glowy foundation. Also, the reason why I love this freaking foundation is this brush was genius. Whoever made this brush, I hope you get your 8, okay? I hope you sleep good. I hope your pillow is cold every single night. Whoever made this brush, you are amazing. You are loved, you are kind, and you're everything that is good in the world. That's how I feel, truthfully. What I'm going to blend it in with is this Expert face brush from Real Techniques. A lot of my brushes are from Real Technique. I love Real Technique brushes. If you're trying to get cheap brushes and you don't want to necessarily splurge, I'd say go on get Real Technique brushes. I got this brush from Target. Target, girl, you are expensive. The biggest con about this foundation is the very, very depressing shade range. Oh my god, the shade range is terrible for this foundation. I just don't understand why in 2023 we still have companies releasing 5 shades for a foundation. That's ridiculous. Not only do you need to fix the shades, but you also need to fix the fact that the undertone is always a warm undertone no matter what color you get. Not everybody has a warm undertone. Everybody should be able to experience and enjoy makeup together. If you don't add more shades, e.l.f., you're gonna have to go, because nobody's gonna deal with these weak shades, okay? So to set my face, I'm using the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder. It's not amazing and it's not terrible, so that's why I'm using it. It's the only white powder that I've ever used that actually melts into my skin and doesn't necessarily make me look ashy. I want my skin to look glowy but not be oily. And this foundation definitely could make you look a little bit too glowy, glazed, donut-y. But it's nothing that a matte foundation mixed in or a matte powder can't fix. This is all I'm going to use for now. Now let's move on to concealer. So we're going to go back in with the Fit Me foundation. Again, I use the color 320. And the parts that I highlight is obviously my under eye. So I'm going to do a nice little triangle. I do a nice little triangle under my eye. And then I actually do my laugh lines. And then I just do my little spot in the middle of my forehead. And that's what I do to highlight my face. I'm gonna blend it in. I'm gonna blend it in with this little Real Techniques brush. This is the crease brush. And I just pat. This brush is honestly amazing. It's one of my favorites. It blends in the concealer so well. I just use my sponges way less. I feel like nothing beats a good brush. I was using those sponges for years, but I guess I got tired of them. Brushes could soak up your makeup too. But girl, after I was putting on my foundation, I'd be like, I feel like more foundation went into the sponge than it did on my skin. Makeup is expensive, even the drugstore makeup. Okay, I'm going to set it, and I'm going to use the same setting powder. To put the powder on, I'm using the Real Techniques setting brush. Girl, this is probably the one brush I actually use what it's for. This is like my actual first makeup tutorial. Well, it's not my first makeup tutorial, actually. Because, girl, we all be talking to ourselves, explaining our makeup tutorials when we be doing our makeup. I just usually be talking to a mirror, not an actual camera. So this is going to be the first one I do that I actually post and show other people. The next thing that I'm going to be using, I'm going to be bronzing my face. Because as you can see, I feel like I look a little washed out. I don't know about y'all, but I have to do a nice contour of my face. I can't just do highlight. I can't just do contour. I gotta do highlight and contour, okay? So for the bronzer I'm gonna be using, I found, at least with my skin tone, and I don't know if it's like this for any other woman of color, a lot of powder bronzers tend to look so bad and ashy on my skin. And I don't know why. A lot of times they just make you look ashy, and I don't like that. So what I've been using lately, and I've been loving it, I actually have no complaints about this, is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. And what brush I'm going to use to put it on with is the Expert Face Brush. I get the brush, pat it into my skin, and I pat it up. I would say be careful, because I don't feel like I even put a lot on. And as you can see, it kind of does look like a lot. Cream, putty, anything that's not a powder bronzer, put as little as you can on, because little goes a long way with them, okay? I first start with pressing it up, and then I start with pressing it in, and then I'll start mixing it in and doing the circles and stuff like that. I don't know if you can even see the difference in my face, like if one looks smaller than the other, or if one just looks warmer and more put together. When you just highlight, it's so easy for it to just look ashy or really, really washed out. I notice a lot of makeup YouTubers or beauty gurus be saying washed out. I feel like washed out is just another word for ashy. They just don't want to say ashy, because ashy is not necessarily like a nice thing to say to someone. Especially if you're doing someone else's makeup, be like, oh, I don't want you to look washed out. You look a little washed out. That's nicer than saying, oh, you look ashy. You girl, you look ashy. And the best thing is, all the products that I use are not crazy expensive. Everyone can afford to spend $50 on a foundation. And also, not everybody goes out and does their makeup enough to want to spend the $50 on the foundation. So I like most beauty gurus, but I don't feel like a lot of beauty gurus acknowledge the fact that a lot of the makeup they use is really expensive. And I know they don't necessarily understand that or acknowledge that, because a lot of the makeup they use is also PR. So they'll get sent a huge box of 10 different shades of a foundation, and they'll use it in a tutorial, not even acknowledge the fact that one bottle of that foundation is $50, $60. I don't necessarily blame the beauty gurus as much as I blame just the system of it. $60 foundation was 6 hours of work for me. I got paid $10 an hour. That's not even including taxes. So it's actually probably 7 to 8 hours of work that would get me to afford these foundations that people were suggesting. That's why I tried to create a routine of drugstore makeup that I genuinely like. Despite the fact that this drugstore makeup, like this foundation was $15. I think that's so ridiculous that this foundation was $15. It's cheap nowadays, but $15 for an e.l.f. foundation, let's be real. If you was around during the early 2000s and you remember it, because I don't feel like I'm old, but I guess a lot of people don't remember the early 2000s. The e.l.f. foundation used to be like $5, $10 at most. Like the most expensive thing you can get from e.l.f. was a foundation, and it would maybe be $10. We're almost done, girl. I'm gonna go even further with the fact that I love cream products because I use cream blush. I go between these two. These are the Maybelline Cheek Heat products. I don't even know. I'm just gonna show you this one. This isn't necessarily the one that I use. I mix it. So I mix the cream blush, the one in number 20 in Rose Flush and 15 in Nude Burn. Blend it in as fast as you can, girl, because it dries. When it dries, it will stay. It does not play, okay? So the darker one is Nude Burn, and the lighter one is Rose Vibrant. Rose Vibrant? Yeah, Rose Vibrant. I'm just gonna mix it together with my finger. No, I feel like when it's mixed together, it looks better. So I'm just going to put it on with my finger. And I'm going to blend it in. I'm using the Real Techniques. The brush is in 400. I like my cheeks being extra rosy. Girl, look how pinky pink. Ooh, she's pinky. She's pinky. She's a pink girl. I'm not done with the blush, by the way. You thought I was done? You thought I was feeling you? And I put it on my nose. You know what I forgot to do? I'm going to use this little angled Morphe brush, and I'm going to get the bronzer putty. I can't believe I forgot to do this. I'm going to contour my nose a bit. I just go down and blend it in. Nothing too complex. Now that I've done all this, it's time to do the lower lashes. I'm just going to be using the same L'Oreal mascara that I was using before. What I put on my lips, again, whatever I'm feeling like in that day. But a majority of the time I always grab this Fruit Fetish lip gloss. It's in Cherry Lime. It's actually lip oil. Girl, I love it. I love it. It adds just the right amount of tint. It's a perfect mix of gloss and moisture. I'm going to tell you guys the funniest thing ever. So I finished my makeup tutorial. I do my outro. I film my makeup close up and everything. I go back and look at the videos. Girl, I did not blend in my makeup all the way. When I tell you there's constant times where I leave the house and my makeup isn't blended and I have to be told by someone, this is the truth. This is the real me. I did not blend in my makeup all the way. Not even close. There was like a full line of bronzer just in the middle of my face. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. This is a great tutorial, but make sure you blend the makeup in. We're all human, and some of us make more mistakes than others. This is it. I feel so stupid redoing this. I feel like an idiot. I can't believe I didn't even notice. So this is it for my makeup tutorial. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have the best rest of your days. I hope your pillows are always cold. I hope you have the best days of your life. Goodbye, my lovelies.